welcome back. So I'm just going to reread this problem before we move on. TJ walks 3/6 of a mile to get to school. Andre walks 3/8 of a mile to get to school. Who walks the greater distance? When I asked what tools can you use to solve this problem, and you don't have to put anything on this slide. One of the things that we could use, since we're comparing 6ths to 8ths, we can use the fraction number line. So here's our fraction number line. And this is the important part. TJ walks to school 3/6 of a mile to get to school. Which number line can we use to show the distance TJ walks? And you're going to put your answer right here. Which one of these number lines? Okay, all of the names for the number lines are right here. Which one will we use? Andre walks 3/8 of a mile to get to school. Which line can we use to show the distance Andre walks? And you're going to put your answer right here. So TJ walks 3/6 of a mile to get to school. Andre walks 3/8 of a mile to get to school. Who walks the greater distance? So when you're looking at this, and I want you to pause and make sure that you are doing the previous couple of slides, so that way you're nice and caught up. Okay, so when I'm looking at the 8ths, I could see where 3/8 is. It's right here. And when I go down all the way to the 6, I see that when we go here, this is how much TJ walks. Okay, so this is how much Andre walks. And let's say this is like almost like a trail or a line. This whole line is a mile, right? So if Andre walks this much and TJ walks this much, who walks the greater distance? And put your answer right here. How do you know? Okay, and put your answer right here. How do you know that blank walks the greater distance? Okay. Next question. Marta has 4 shoe boxes and she puts them all in her closet. The whole is 1 shoebox. What fraction of Marta's shoe boxes are in the closet? All right, go ahead and put your guess right here and then come back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Since the whole is 1 shoebox, the denominator is 1. The numerator tells how many holes we have. Marta has 4 shoeboxes, or 4 over 1, which means 4 holes, shoeboxes. The fraction 4 over 1 is equivalent to 4. So 4 over 1 equals 4. Okay? I know that can be a little complicated, but just like when we were doing our number lines of how many holes, I believe it was, I think it might have just been one lesson ago, where you're counting on a line how many holes, and it was 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole, 4 hole. That is a lot like this, because we're talking about whole shoe boxes, and we're not cutting them, we're not splitting them or anything like that. So our fraction, when it comes to whole numbers, would be the whole number over 1 every time. 3 friends equally share 6 apples. How many apples does each friend get? Use fraction tools or drawings to solve. So go ahead and put your answer right here and then pause. Well, pause the video and then put your answer right here and come back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so there are multiple ways to solve that problem. You can take each of the apples and split them into thirds for each person, right? So each person gets a small piece. Or you can have each person, and we could do it kind of like our pennies, where we go, okay, then he gets 1, she gets 1, he gets 1, he gets 1, she gets the other one, and he's the last one. So they each end up with 2 holes. the way that we would write that in thirds is 1/3 and a third and a third and a third and a third equals 6/3, which equals 2 wholes. Okay? Because if we count up all of these thirds, if each person were to get a third of each one, then that would be 1, 2, 3. That's a whole. 1, 2, 3. That's another whole. Tony has 2 oranges to share equally among 8 friends. What fraction of the oranges will each friend get? So here are my 2 oranges. Here are my 8 friends. How much will each friend get? And put your answer right here in this box. David eats 2/3 of a salad. Son eats the rest. What fraction of the salad does Son eat? Who eats more of the salad? Would David at 2/3 or Son with whatever answer you put here? Now, on a salad bowl, it's a lot like a fraction circle that you could split this into thirds. If you wanted to, you could also draw out fraction strips or use a fraction number line. Whatever tools work best for you are the tools that you can use. All right, so here, use fraction circles, fraction strips, number lines, or pictures to help solve the number stories. Make sketches to show how you solved. Tanya watched the whole football game. Micah watched 1/4 of the game, and Alma watched 3/4 of the game. Who watched the shortest amount of the game? And then here you're going to put your sketch, okay? So really you're comparing a whole to 1/4 to 3/4, okay? And I want to see those represented here either as fraction strips, fraction circles, or number lines, whatever you prefer to draw, okay? And then you're going to put your answer. Who watched the shortest amount of the game? Caden makes 2 cups of salsa for the party. The 6 guests share the salsa equally. Write a fraction that shows how much each guest eats. And go ahead and draw your sketch and then blank of a cup of salsa. And that should be a fraction. 1/6 of the party guests were Wildcat fans. The rest of the guests were Knight fans. What fraction of the guests were Knight fans? This one might be best drawn out and solved using a fraction number line because we know how much a whole is when we know the denominator. So if 1/6 of the party guests were Wildcat fans, then we know that the rest are Knight fans. So how much is the rest after 1/6? The whole on a number line is the distance from 0 to 1. Okay, so this is 0 to 2, right? Each number line below shows more than one whole. Label the wholes. Then partition to locate and label the given fraction. So if this is 0 and this is 2, then I know that this has to be 1, right? And then from 0 to 1, I know that that's my whole, and I'm trying to find out where 2/4 would go. So then I could use my lines to label into 4 different pieces, but what I did was provided you this X to show me where exactly 2/4 is going to go, okay? So you could draw out lines if you like, but I want this X to show me where does 2/4 go on this line, okay? So, and same for this one. This shows a lot of wholes, right? It goes all the way up to 4. Then I need to label the wholes. So I need to label these, all right? And then I got to show where half is, all right? And we're not looking at half of 4. We're looking at half from 0 to 1, okay? Write a fraction below each triangle to show the distance from 0. So it looks like for this one, we're going to count in thirds. All right. So this is 0/3, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. What would this one be? Number 4. Looks like we're counting in eighths. 0/8, 1/8, 2/8. And then what is this fraction here? Label at least 2 more fractions on the number lines in problems 3 and 4. I provided you the 2 more fractions down here. You're going to have to drag them to wherever you want to put them and then label them with the appropriate fractions. Okay? Okay, so that is it for math. And once you are done with these problems, I will see you for English Language Arts.